guys, it is coffee time. I'm drinking out of my Hisoka mug for the first time, which is like one of the coolest mugs I own now. Look at it. It's so cool. I walked by it at Anime Expo and I was like, this is such a cool mug, but it's way too expensive and I'm not gonna buy it. And Brad was with me and I had given Brad his Anime Expo pass, and so as a thank you, he bought this mug for me. So, mwah, thank you, Brad. Cheers to you with the Hisoka mug. It is so cool and I am delighted to break it in on this show. And I realize that it is not Attack on Titan related, which is important because we're now going to talk about the Attack on Titan movie. Oh my goodness. So, for those of you who don't know, there is a live-action Attack on Titan movie, and the world premiere was yesterday, last night, in Hollywood for whatever reason. I honestly have no idea why they wound up doing that. Like, we got to see it before anybody in Japan, which is very, very strange. They decided to do the premiere in Hollywood, so we were invited, which was awesome. Got to go to there. Got to go to there. There were all sorts of different YouTubers there, actually. I kept running into people and being like, oh, what's up? But, yeah, so I went there with Happily Aaron and David, and then Octopimp. The four of us all sat together. They gave us free popcorn. They did not give us water, which was weird. They were like, you can have any of these sodas for free. And I was like, can I have a water? And they were like, no. I was like, okay, I'll just have the popcorn then. So, yeah, we went in, we sat down, we watched the movie. I will say, the Titans are incredible. The action was incredible. The liberties that they took with the story were super weird. And I understand that the original writer was very much involved with the writing process on this movie and very much involved with the entire process of creating the film and directing it, etc., etc. But I still am going to question most of the choices that were made because, oh my goodness, I get that, like, so it's only 2 movies, but, like, they have to take this whole story and compact it into like 2 hours, which is fine. But some of the choices they made did not help with that mission whatsoever. It was literally like, it was as though they took characters. All of the characters had the same names for the most part, but their personalities were completely different. So it's almost like they were looking at these characters and being like, okay, what's a totally different way that we can characterize them? And then the world, like some of the world building that had been established was very different. Some of the ways that the story progressed was very different, which I expected. Again, because they're like, all right, we have this huge long story that we have to, you know, do this to. But man, some of the things that happened in that movie, literally all of us in the row were going at the same time. Like, it was comical how often we were like, what? Just, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here. So, yeah, I would recommend it purely based on the Titans, honestly. Like, the first 20 minutes of the movie, which is like the first, I'm trying to think of how to explain what part of the manga, like the whole beginning of the manga, right before the very first time skip, which is very short but very powerful. That's like the first 20 minutes of the movie, and I would say that all of us across the board were like, that was the best part of the movie. It was really well done. There was a lot of like fear that was established there that managed to sort of last throughout the rest of the movie. The Titans were absolutely incredible. I still don't exactly know how they did them. People have been asking me like, well, how did they make them? And I'm like, I'm not totally sure, you know? But they definitely are terrifying in a way that was very, very much intentional. And I loved it. So, yeah. I would say it's worth watching. Sam was asking me earlier, he was like, do you think that it's worth seeing? Like, should I take the time to watch it? And I said, yeah, because he's the sort of guy where he's like, it's okay if the story is garbage, I just want to see the action, right? And the action in that movie is pretty on point. But if you're going into this movie being like, oh my gosh, I love these characters, I love the story, it's so interesting, like, politically and etc., etc., you're gonna be disappointed. You need to go into it feeling like it is a blank slate, and even though the characters have the same name, they are not the same person at all. Like, oh man, it was very odd. It was a very odd feeling to watch it and be like, I know this guy. No, I don't. Never mind. I do not know what's going to be happening in this movie whatsoever. Cool. But, yeah, the director and the two leading actors, the actors who played Mikasa and the actor who played Eren, the two of them were there as well. They did a big Q&A after the movie that, I'll be honest, we did not stay for, because we knew that all of the questions were going to be people being like, why did you change this? And then them being like, ah. So we figured that we would just leave and get boba and then talk amongst ourselves about our feelings on the movie. So, fast forward like 30 minutes to us at a boba place called It's Boba Time. If any of you were on Twitter last night, you saw quite a thing happening with the hashtag It's Boba Time. So, for some reason, a lot of boba places, specifically in K-Town and J-Town, Koreatown and Japantown in Los Angeles, have started doing this thing where they have screens up that are like, if you want to tell us your feelings on our store, use this hashtag, and then it auto just like pulls from that hashtag and puts up whatever tweet that you make with that hashtag on it. So we got there and we all pointed to the screen and were like, oh, we're gonna destroy this. We walked in to get our drinks. There's, actually, I have one of them. You know how, like there are ceiling panels and sometimes the panels are lights? So one of the ceiling panels that was a light was not dripping water, but, like, spilling, like, big gobs of water. And I was like, that is a hazard. That's, like, water next to electricity. That's, like, a major hazard, aside from the fact that it's dripping water all over the place. So, this girl who was, like, the cashier, she was helping one customer, but it was pretty leisurely. So I was like, excuse me, there's water, like, falling from the seat. She completely ignored me. Completely ignored me. The guy in the back comes up with one of the drinks and was like, I have, a mocha, whatever, blah, blah, blah. David goes up to him and says, hey, there's a bunch of water falling from one of your ceiling lights. And he goes, yep, and walked away. And we were like, what is happening in this store right now? This is so weird. At that point, we had already ordered our drinks, so we grabbed our drinks and went outside because the irritation was way too high, and outside is where the screen was, so we needed to be there. Alex had taken a while getting there because he went to the wrong one first. Oops. Same chain, just the wrong place. Came to the one that we were at, ordered a drink, and they gave him the completely wrong drink, and he said, oh, this is mango, I didn't order mango. And she goes, yes, you did. And he was like, no, I didn't, because I hate mango, and I would never order mango. And she was like, well, you ordered mango, and walked away. So he just took it because he was like, there's a bunch of people waiting for drinks. I don't want to fuss with it, whatever. Came outside, told us that whole story, and we were like, what? So, of course, the very first thing that we did, that we used this screen for, was to be like, yo, your business is awful. Like, just complaining, basically, with, like, horrible selfies, like, And then it turned into us making statements about anime and having those pop up along with pictures. So I said, yo, real talk, Vegeta is a terrible dad, with the picture of Vegeta flipping off the camera that we never got in America. It's very sad. Anyways, and that totally popped up, and I was like, awesome. There was a huge table filled with dudes behind us who thought we were hilarious. Like, because we kept, like, we would tweet a thing and then wait for it, and when it popped up, we'd, like, take a picture and be like, and then, like, tweet a new thing, and the guys behind us started taking pictures, too, of the things that we were tweeting. It was good. And then you guys started tweeting on there, and I don't know how many of you realized that they were going to, every store that was in the chain, because obviously they all use that same hashtag, but good on you. Some of you sent, like, some pretty fantastic furry fan art to many stores. Many stores in Koreatown. So, it's beautiful. Yeah, and that was our entire day. That was our entire evening, and it was fantastic. I'm, opening up my phone really quick to check a thing. Perfect. But, I would say, if you're a person who can, like, totally ignore the story of Attack on Titan, or if you are a person who has never seen Attack on Titan and you just kind of want to see like a weird Japanese movie. It's sort of like, you know, when you ask somebody how a movie was and they say it was okay for a game movie or for like a movie about a video game. This is like, it was okay for a movie about an anime. Like, that's how I feel about it. So that would be my consistent quote, my consistent quote about the Attack on Titan movie. I will see the second one just to see how it is. But yeah, that's it. That's my review along with the It's Boba Time story. But I hope that you guys have had a fantastic day. I am going to go and snuggle my cats, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Mwah!